Hey guys, Nintendrew here, and once again, it's time for the next installment in our Rarest Games series, where we take a look at some of the most coveted and elusive titles in gaming. This week, the Nintendo Wii. So, join me as we take a look back at the top 5 rarest Wii games. Let's get to it! Okay, so as always, just a couple of ground rules. First off, we're not going to be considering any special edition titles or bundled games which are otherwise available for cheap, just official retail releases. The prices listed in this video are based on complete North American copies, and each title has been ranked based on a combination of its current market value and estimated scarcity. So, with that out of the way, first up is Pandoras Tower. Pandoras Tower is a third-person action RPG developed by Ganbarion and first released in May of 2011 for a Japanese audience, but those of us in the rest of the world wouldn't get our chance to play this title until much later. After an extended development period and an unceremonious launch in Europe, Nintendo didn't have any plans to bring this title to North America. Around the same time, a movement named Operation Rainfall was picking up steam. This fan campaign aimed to convince publishers to bring 3 Japan-exclusive Wii titles to a worldwide audience: Pandoras Tower, Xenoblade Chronicles, and The Last Story. Eventually, all 3 titles would be released in North America, with Pandoras Tower finally hitting store shelves in April of 2013. Now keep in mind, this was a full 6 months after the release of the Wii U. Considering its extremely late print run and dedicated fanbase, it's no wonder that this game has climbed the charts and consistently held its value in recent years. Today, a complete copy of Pandoras Tower is worth right around $75 US. As far as gameplay is concerned, and given what I've played in recent memory, this title reminds me a bit of Astral Chain. If you're a fan of story-driven action-adventure games, Pandoras Tower is definitely one of the few titles on this list that I'd say might still be worth hunting down for a casual Wii collector. Next up, coming in at number 4, is American Mensa Academy. Okay, so American Mensa Academy is kind of like a more pretentious version of Brain Age or Big Brain Academy. If you're not familiar with the organization, Mensa is self-described as the largest society of high IQ individuals in the world, so please, Rick and Morty fans only. Through a series of brain teasers across categories such as literacy, memory, and logic, American Mensa Academy promises to, quote, stretch your brain like no other game before. Today, a complete copy of American Mensa Academy will run you about $100 on the used game market. Marketing blurbs aside, for what it's worth, this game does feel reasonably polished, and strikes me as almost like an edutainment version of the WarioWare series. Of course, as a fairly obscure title released just 2 days before the launch of the Wii U, it sold pretty terribly. As a result, it's unsurprisingly become much harder to come by in the years following its debut. Moving right along, at number 3 on our list is Veggie World. Okay, you know how when you're watching your favorite serial TV drama or sitcom and they bring on a character who you immediately just know is supposed to be a gamer, and then they show them playing some game with a generic PS2 looking controller, but the game footage has to be legally distinct so they don't risk any copyright infringement? This is that game. Veggie World is that generic nonsense game. You play as Oscar the Strawberry Boy on his quest to vanquish evil, I guess. The enemies are all fruits and veggies, but there are also bacteria? I don't know, I feel like I shouldn't have to put more thought into this game than the developers did. It's basically just a side-scrolling shooter where you have to take down waves of baddies that look like they came straight from a bad clip art website, and you're given the opportunity to upgrade your ship between each of the game's excruciatingly long levels. I think we can all agree this one deserves to be in the most bargain of bargain bins, but it's somehow managed to hold on to its inflated value. Today, a complete copy of Veggie World can also fetch upwards of $100. Just to set the stage here, this game came out for the Wii in 2011. This is the same year we got some truly amazing titles like Skyward Sword, Rayman Origins, and Rhythm Heaven Fever. I guess only time will tell if Veggie World will be remembered alongside those celebrated adventures. Next up, coming in at number 2 is Dokkapon Kingdom. Dokkapon Kingdom is a 2008 port of the PS2 game by the same name, which in turn is a remake of the original Super Famicom entry from all the way back in 1994. In this title, 2 to 4 players go head-to-head and fight for cash while collecting upgrades and vanquishing monsters. Battles take on the style of turn-based combat, while moving about the overworld is handled more like a board game. It's almost like a fun, casual hybrid of Mario Party and Final Fantasy. Longtime viewers might remember that another title in the Dokkapon franchise, that being Dokkapon Journey, was covered in this video series before as one of the rarest titles for Nintendo DS. While a complete copy of the DS game can sell for over $100, believe it or not, the Wii adaptation is even more pricey. Today, a complete used copy of Dokkapon Journey is worth around $170. If you've played the Dokkapon games before, you already know how fun they can be, and if you haven't yet, you're missing out. If you find this game in the wild at a decent discount and have a few friends to play with, don't hesitate to pick it up. And to round off our list, our number 1 rarest Wii title is Cyberbike Cycling Sports. Yes, we finally have a fitness title at the top of one of these lists. In the era of the Wii's incredible financial success, everyone and their grandma was playing Wii Sports Tennis like there's no tomorrow, and clearance aisles were full of completely useless add-ons and peripherals. It was a simpler time. In an effort to capitalize on a new wave of fitness titles like Wii Fit and Just Dance, publisher Big Ben commissioned a new kind of controller for the system in 2011. A full-size stationary bike complete with magnetic resistance for building a challenging workout routine at home. Bundled with the Cyberbike was, of course, Cyberbike Cycling Sports. Through 4 modes of gameplay across land, water, and air, the game tasked players with controlling one of a selection of digital vehicles by pedaling and steering with the bike. Now, the software itself is hard enough to come by, and just a loose disc can fetch prices upwards of $70, but with the case, manual, and bike controller included, this title can fetch prices in excess of $200. Interestingly enough, this is about the same price the game first launched at nearly a decade ago, which at the time was actually $50 more than a brand new Wii console, so it doesn't take a big stretch of the imagination to figure out why it didn't exactly fly off the shelves. But with listings already pretty well dried up, collectors can expect that Cyberbike will continue to be one of the most sought-after Wii games for many years to come. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this look at the top 5 rarest Wii games. As always, if you did enjoy the video, please do consider subscribing to Nintendrew for all sorts of cool gaming content, and make sure to share it with any friends who might find it interesting. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey guys, thanks again for watching and for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you like this one, here are 2 more videos you might like as well. As always, if you like what I do and would like to help out the channel, I've got a link to my Patreon on the right side of your screen. And otherwise, I hope you look forward to the next one. Take care!